Hello, this is Mark, and this is the Rational Brain Podcast. This is the very first episode, so I cannot wait to see what this evolves into and what we have. But for our very first issue, the idea is this is to talk, just to have conversation. That's what this podcast is about. And so I'm going to sit down with a person each week or each month, and I'm just going to have a conversation. Now, you probably will see a lot of episodes coming out in November. I do have a couple episodes planned, but that's because I want content. But for right now, this is the very first episode. I have with me
John.
Okay. And I think
John, a.k.a. What Pisses Me Off 710.
Yes, he does have a YouTube channel. And the idea is, the whole idea is, the reason why I wanted John on the podcast here is because he's not an atheist, and he's also not a Christian. So I can have just a conversation where it's not about a pissing contest. If I'm having a Christian on, which I do plan to have Christians, and if you want to message me about being on here, I'll do a debate with you. I'll have conversation. Hey, I'll go 8 rounds with you. I don't care. That's fine.
I have somebody that you could talk to about stuff like that.
But the idea is this is going to be more friendly, and it's going to be more conversational. Now, for everybody out there who doesn't know your story, can you tell them your story?
Mine?
Yes. How you reached the conclusion you did, and where are you right now in your theology?
I think there is somewhat of a God out there. I don't really believe in God, but I mean, I don't think there's nothing out there. I think there is something. So I'm pretty much on the fence of believing in what they tell me to believe. So I pretty much think there is something. Like, I'm just, 50-50.
And how did you reach that conclusion? Did you grow up in a religious household?
My dad, everybody in my fucking piece of crap family is full of fucking Christians that love Jesus.
They're drinking the Jesus juice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's one thing that a lot of atheists have made the joke, that they're against gays. They're in a homosexual marriage with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first of all, well, you just got that joke?
Yeah. You're a dick.
I mean, well, first of all, is you do have some proactive ideals. You are against abortion, which is understandable, but you are pro-gay rights, right?
Yeah, if that's how you want to be, just keep your dick away from me. That's all I say.
Okay, and you're heterosexual, and so that's very proactive. I know people who say that it's not about their religion, it's just that it's wrong to be gay, and I'm sorry, you're never going to convince me.
I know some people that say it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. That is actually pretty funny.
But it was actually Adam and Steve. Sorry. The fossil record has the proof. But no, so you're not actually, first of all, what are your thoughts on the origin of life? How do you think life came to be? Would you call yourself young Earth creationist? Would you call yourself an evolutionist? Or would you say that you're not on either side?
I don't know. Like, I can't really tell you anything I don't know. I mean, I think, not me. I know how I got here, but how the people before me, like the first people ever got here, I think, just started at something small and just worked its way up. I think something had to make us, though. Something that, something definitely amazing happened, I mean, sure, a lot of people suck, but, most people suck, but...
So you think it's more logical that simple life forms became more complex life forms over a vast amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So even though you don't necessarily say you believe in evolution, at least you're leaning more towards that than God just snapped us to an existence and exactly how we are right now. Does that make sense?
What about that Scientology thing? About how people...
That's bullshit. I mean, I can show you videos on that. That's essentially the creator of that said, it's actually said on multiple occasions that if you want to become rich, create a religion. And he created a religion.
Can we get sued by Tom Cruise if we shit all over his religion? Because that's what happened to South Park. Huh?
Everybody else does. I mean, I have a right.
I mean, South Park did, and they got sued for it.
Yeah, luckily I'm not that big yet. And I'll be sued, not you, so you don't have to worry.
No, I'm just saying, I'm making a joke because they're a bunch of pussies. They take that shit way too seriously.
No, they do, and religion is taken too seriously because the time to believe something is when there's evidence to believe it. And what I would call you is something called a deist, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And essentially what a deist, for everybody who doesn't know out there, or they believe that there is a God, but they don't believe that he's a personal God. They believe that he just created the universe and went on and did something better. You don't believe God actually interacts with people on an everyday basis, do you?
Like, I think that, like, when people talk to God, I think it's just them talking to their conscience. Like, I mean, I've done it. You know, it's just to give people hope. People that pray and believe in God so much is because they're afraid of death. They don't want to. They don't want to think of nothing. They don't want to think that it's just nothing out there. You know, so that's why they believe in God. Like, I can understand that because I'm afraid of death. Everyone is. So,
well,
I don't know.
I mean, like, I'm really not afraid of death. I think it's a natural process, and it's the idea that it's going to happen.
I think deep down you are, but you're just going to say you're not right now. But if I had a gun to your face right now, the first thing you would be is planning for your life, I think.
No, I would not. Because it would do nothing. It would accomplish nothing.
I don't know, maybe.
But
you could never really say that until you're in the situation. You know?
Say that how I think about it right now, I don't think I would.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the problem I have with religious people believing in the afterlife is that's fine. If you want to believe there's something after life, that's fine. First of all, is do not insert that there is, and please don't tell me I'm going to hell, because it doesn't accomplish anything.
Going to hell!
In hell. But here's the funny thing is, a lot of people who don't believe in hell is trying to fix the problem of death. You're not.
See, like, you want to know my little take on what hell really is?
What do you think hell is?
Like, I think, like, the last moment that you think of, like, when you think back your life, when it goes back and you think of all the fucked up shit that you've done in your life, I think that last thought that you have, the last fucked up thing that you've done, is hell. And it's going to stay there. Like, that's what is your mindset, like, when you're dead. Like, that is it. That's what you remember. That's where you're stuck.
Well, my idea, first of all, is all the evidence concludes that when we die, our brain shuts down and our brain no longer activates, and everything that is us is our brain, so we just stop being. But I'm not going to insert that, because I don't know that for a fact. I mean, there could be something that we can't test right now that could survive after our death. That's possible. Probably unlikely, but possible. And the idea is that...
Well, what about all these people that die and then they come back and they say, oh, I saw the light, I saw God, and all this stuff?
Yeah, the funny thing is they always, first of all, is whenever...
And everybody always sees the same thing.
Well, it's not they always see the same thing. First of all, is whenever somebody says they've seen something like that and they've seen the pearly gates, it's always their religion. Like, also, when people have spiritual moments and they see God and God reveals the truth to them, it's almost always their religion. It's not another religion. And I've never heard of a case where somebody has actually been revealed a religion that is a real religion that they had never heard of. And this is the first time they ever heard of it. I've never heard of a case like that before.
Well, yeah, that's true.
And that would be pretty interesting. If somebody was revealed a religion they had never heard of, and God had revealed the truth to them.
See, but, like, what if God was real? What would you do then? Like, what would you do like, I don't want you to die or anything, but I'm saying, like, if something did bad happen to you, which I hope never does, but, like, if that did happen and you find out that God is real, wouldn't you look like a moron?
Well, first of all, I would not look like a moron, and I'll explain that in a second. But this is...
Because I feel that's how I would be if I was looking right in the face of God and he was like, you doubted me, fuck you. You know what I mean? I'd be like, sorry, man.
Yeah. The problem is this is an argument that's touted all the time. And the problem is that people say it's a 50-50 split, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What if you're wrong? Isn't it better to be a believer?
Marilyn Manson said something really interesting. He said that God was created by Americans. He thinks God is American.
First of all, I don't think that. I don't know where you would have gotten that from.
Because it's like the highest fucking... Like, God here is the most profitable thing now, you know? Like, yeah. God has profits fucking... You know what I mean? Like, you go to a church and you fucking go there, you have to give fucking money to them. And, like, you see a fucking guy out front that's the priest with the fucking, BMW that costs more than his fucking house, Like,
yeah, but
it's fucked up.
Look at the Vatican.
Mm-hmm.
The Vatican is the Vatican is a country that's like rich. It's amazing, but what it is, and I had to look it up. I'm sorry, called Pascal's wager. That what if I'm wrong? What if God really does exist? And the problem with Pascal's wager is that it's what if I'm wrong, but the Christian God's right. That's how they always use it. And what if you're wrong, not you in particular, just a Christian person, and the Muslims are right? They always use it that if I'm wrong, then they're right, but it doesn't work that way. I could be wrong and you could be wrong, and guess what? Where am I? I mean, the idea is that I'm taking where the evidence leads.
Yeah.
And here's the thing I like to say to people that give me Pascal's wager. What if I'm wrong? I go to heaven, and God's like, oh, so why didn't you believe? Because I looked at the evidence did not believe. Oh, cool, thanks. Okay, you're in heaven now. And a Christian guy comes, and he's like, yeah, I believed in you. I thought you were real. I mean, all the evidence showed me you weren't, but I kept believing in you. I was like, okay, oh, sorry, you're going to hell.
Well, a lot of people like to a lot of people that look up to God, they need something higher than themselves to make themselves feel good, And
I think that's sad.
But I do it, but I do it with my own thing. Like, all right, I look up to two people in the world. I look up to Lisa, that's my wife. She's the one that, pretty much is everybody to me, like, she's my God. And then I have Marilyn Manson. Because he speaks to me like, because he teaches me things. That's what God does for other people, don't he? Like, I look up to him like people look up to God, because he helps me get over bad things in my life, what God does for other people.
And I can understand that. And I mean, I just don't think, I think even you, to a certain extent, are using a crutch. I think that you actually can get over things by yourself. You just don't realize it, so you use a crutch, and you call that crutch a God. The whole thing is that we are a very interesting species. We're the only species that we know of that has self-reflection like we do. Other species know they exist and they have certain things, but we're the only one that can actually contemplate things a lot more complex, like God.
Yeah.
Animals are atheists because they have a lack of a belief in God. And
animals are like the most innocent things there are, because they have like no problems. They don't have to care about, like, especially my dog. All he cares about is getting his belly scratched.
Domesticated animals have no problems.
Yeah.
Wild animals have all the problems in the world. I wouldn't want to be a wild animal, because they have to get food all day. They have to focus on getting shelter.
Mhm.
I mean, like, they work all day,
Yeah.
every day. But the idea is that that's the world they live in. That's how they have to deal. I mean, but the
Like,
point...
what if Jesus was just... What if Jesus was just a really good magician, you know?
Well, I like to use the idea is not that he was a really good magician. What if Jesus was just a healer? He was just a guy that had modern that had something more equivalent to modern medical knowledge. Theology and all that is, I mean, I understand. You see the world, and do you see complexity in the world?
What do you mean?
That things are too complex for it to just happen the way it is.
Like, I don't know. I think people make the decisions of what happened. Like, that's just...
Well, I mean, like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the dichotomy of how the world works, how things are, like that without mosquitoes we'd all be dead, things like that.
Yeah. I look at it anyway. I'm not gonna have somebody just tell me to look at something one way. If there's the truth, I'm gonna look at the truth.
Yeah, because the idea is that
that's kind of like what my brainwashed video was about. How all these people believe in God, but when the facts come up and they don't listen to it, they're brainwashed.
No, they absolutely are brainwashed, and that's why I'm happy to see that even though you're not in my camp, you're closer to an atheist than you know it, and I'm happy for that because the idea is that you have secular viewpoints.
I just don't think that this is the end. Like, I do not think that when we die, that this is just it.
Well,
I think that maybe there's reincarnation. I think that we're a ghost. I believe in ghosts. I do. Like, I think ghosts are real.
Okay, and all I ask is for evidence, and I'll believe in ghosts tomorrow.
Oh, I've seen ghosts before. Like, I don't know if you think I'm lying, because...
No, I understand.
I could be wrong. I mean, it was during the time I was watching Paranormal Activity, so...
But, I mean, our eyes trick us, and we think we see things that we don't really see.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And I have seen it before. I've seen Paranormal Activity. Like, my wife has a really fucked up thing that she did. Well, she saw when she was... Like, her mom, before her mom died, she had, like, a really fucked up dream about her mom behind her. Like, not behind her, but in front of her, like, with this cloak under her. Like, just, like... You know, like, the sparkle shit or whatever, like, under her. And, like, they were at her funeral. But this was before she even knew that she was dead. She wasn't sick. There was nothing wrong with her at all.
Well, the only explanation I can give you, and this is not a story I have, but basically on the Atheist Experience, go check that out. Really good really good TV show. You can watch it online, and it's on
My
YouTube.
uncle's a huge fucking atheist. You'd love to talk to him.
Yeah, but the whole idea is that there are times where people think, like one gave an example of that. He always tells the story about how he went to this amusement park and had fun with his friends because he was told this over and over again, and he thinks he was there when he really wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he thinks about it, he realizes, oh wait, no, I wasn't there. Your brain is powerful, and it can make you think things are a certain way.
All right,
like,
but what about people that see things, or like what about people that are psychics? Do you think they're all liars?
Absolutely.
That talk to ghosts and stuff and, like, know things about things.
Because...
But what about these people that know things without even knowing that person?
Well, the idea is that these people are intelligent. John Williams, I think that's his name. Have you ever heard of him?
Yeah, he's a douche. South Park called him a douche.
Yes. South Park actually had an episode where they explain how it works.
Yeah.
Psychics, basically, the thing about it is psychics is they cannot tell you things. They usually can't tell you things that are completely unknowable.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard a psychic. Have you ever heard of a case where a psychic tells a secret that was unknowable, only the two people involved could have known, the dead person and the live person? You never hear about cases like that.
No, not that I know of.
The point is that, I mean, first of all, is how John Williams works and how like television psychics work is they essentially what they do is they say, okay, I'm pointing over in this direction, and somebody had a relative with an R name that passed away recently, okay? And there are so many people there, somebody's going to say yes, and they keep going, and the second they get something wrong, they point to somebody else that has that trait, and they go with them, and they say, oh no, I'm with you. If you know what you're doing, it's simple to do that.
Yeah.
Not psychic. Now, there are people that do things that are a little bit hard to explain. That doesn't mean they're psychic. There's no reason to believe that there are psychics. I'm sorry to say this. There is no reason to believe there is anything supernatural that exists. I would love to believe in vampires. I would love to believe in vampires. I would love to be a vampire hunter. It's not going to happen because it's not real.
See, but how do you know if this, like... Alright, what about aliens? You think aliens are real?
Okay, that's kind of a loaded question. Are alien abductions real? Most likely not.
Well, I'm talking about, like, aliens in another planet out there somewhere.
Do I believe that there is life on another planet? And let's be a little bit more specific. Let's say intelligent life.
Yeah.
Yes. But I have math on my side here. And the reason why is that there are over 300 billion known galaxies, okay?
Mm-hmm.
In each of those galaxies, there are over 300 billion stars.
Yeah.
Okay? Can you fathom that number?
Nope.
100 billion times 300 billion? And now those are known galaxies. Only the ones we know about. There are more, but those are the ones we know exist, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me there's not complex life on another planet out there?
I wish I could go there.
It's absurd to believe that's true. But here's the thing. The time to believe a claim is when there's evidence to believe it. So I don't believe there are aliens. I just believe it's probable.
Yeah.
Because it's mathematically possible. And that's the thing, is if people if people insert that they're 100% is a god, like Venom Famax, he will tell you 100% God exists. He knows God exists, and he knows it's a Christian God. How does he know it's a Christian God? Because God told him so.
How did God tell him?
Well, you'd have to ask him, but the idea is that's sort of, like, first of all is, if you watch his videos, he makes a lot of mistakes. He, first of all, tries to put a dichotomy with evolution and atheism. You can be a Christian and believe in evolution, because I'm going to tell you this really weird thing about evolution. It's a fact. It happened. That's not even a question anymore. Evolution 100% did happen. It's so demonstrable that it's not even worth calculating if it could have happened. It happened. It's one of our best known theories. But these people want to be literalists, and that's a problem to me. Because when you're setting out to prove something, you're going to have a biased opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Science doesn't do that. I was chatting with a friend today, and I was trying to explain something, and he tries to tell me that the atheists out there try to skew the evidence in the Bible, and I'm actually going to read you part of a Bible verse, okay?
All right.
And this is interesting because this is the one I like to bring up, and I'm going to read it out of the King James Version, to be fair, because there's going to be a lot of people saying if you don't read it out of the King James Version, it's not valid. Okay? First, I'm going to read it out of context, then we're going to put the context back in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want you to interpret this, okay?
Okay.
Oh. Okay. So, if a man finds a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lie with her shall give into the damsel father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all of his days. What do you interpret that?
Sounds like he just paid for a whore.
No. He basically, there are different ways to interpret that. It's not a whore. But essentially, there are two ways to interpret this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't exactly know what it's saying, right?
No, not at all.
That's right. Okay.
Well, he said he paid for his wife. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, that did happen, but he said, but it's also if a man finds a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are two ways to interpret this. I have my interpretation, but people like Venom Fan X, which I did a video, go check out his channel, and essentially what his interpretation is that this is two assenting adults having sex out of wedlock.
Out of what?
Out of wedlock. Means you're not married.
Oh.
And if that's true, then that's fine. I can understand that. But we're not reading this out of context. Let's read a little bit before this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That was 28 and 29. Let's read 23 through 27, okay?
All right.
If a damsel finds a virgin, he is be betrothed into an husband, and if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed into a husband, and a man finds her in the city, and lie with her, then they shall bring them both out into the gates of the city, and ye shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she did not cry out, being in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. But if a man finds a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her and lie with her, then the man only that lie with her shall die. Mm-hmm. But into the damsel thou shalt do nothing. She is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man riseth against his neighbor, and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, and there was none to save her. What's that sound like to you?
It sounds like, he had sex with his fucking neighbor's wife, and that he should be killed for it.
Okay. Let's read a little bit of a better translation, okay?
Wait, let me read it.
Let me give you the New King James Version.
If a young woman who is a virgin is bethered to a husband, and a man finds her in the city and lies with her, 24, then you shall bring them both out to the gate of that city, and you shall stone them to death with stones. The young woman, because she did not cry out in the city, and the man, because he humbled his neighbor's wife. So you shall put away the evil from among you. But if a man finds a bethered young woman in the countryside, and the man forces her and lies with her, then only the man who lays with her shall die. But you shall do nothing to the young woman. There is the young woman I know what it's saying. It's pretty much saying that the man that fucks the wife should die, and like that's wrong or something.
But if you read other translations, it uses another word.
Mm-hmm.
Rape, because that's what it's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If a man rapes a woman in the city and she doesn't cry out, she gets stoned to death.
Oh.
Does it make a lot more sense when I explain it?
Yeah.
It's really horribly written.
I see what the fuck you're saying now. Damn. I must be a fucking retard because I couldn't...
I mean, they want to make it sound like it's sensual sex, but no, it's not. So, in the Bible, if you're a virgin and you're not betrothed, which means engaged, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's betrothed, not betrothed. If you're engaged, or you're not engaged and you're a virgin, and somebody rapes you, then the penalty to the rapist is that he has to pay the father 50 shekels of silver, and you two get married. Isn't that so cute?
Mm-hmm.
That a rapist gets to marry the victim. I mean, what if that happened to your daughter? Would you want your daughter to have to marry the rapist who raped her?
No, he'd be dead.
Okay. So yes, our good old book is condoning rape.
Wow.
It doesn't really condone it because it's bad. But the punishment, like, it's women back then were essentially treated as property. And I mean, like, if somebody kills your cow, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Would you stone them to death, or would you make them pay the price of the cow?
Make them pay for it.
Okay. Well, the idea is that's basically what it's saying. You violated property.
Yeah.
It no longer has its worth.
So they're saying that a person is property.
Women. Only women.
Wow. Who the fuck wrote this, Hitler?
No, ancient sheep herders. And Hitler was a Christian. Most likely a Catholic, but close enough. But I mean, yes. You don't know this stuff. And
That's
luckily...
fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it really is fucked up. I completely agree with you.
So they're saying they're condoning divorcing, but they fucking,
No, they don't.
Not divorce. They're condoning rape. They're condoning rape, but it says thou shalt not kill in the Bible. What the hell's the difference? You're pretty much killing the person when you do that.
And divorce was not acceptable back then, ever, for any circumstance. Except for one, if your wife cheats on you, I think you can get divorced then. But that's the only reason. And the problem is that a lot of the problem is with Christianity is that they're taught not to have sex. So the ones that actually listen until they're married, actually listen, get married at the age of 18. And then they don't want to get divorced because their Bible tells them not to. So they live in horrible relationships.
That is fucking sick.
Yeah, it
I
is.
mean, how could you fucking condone rape in a Bible? I mean, that's...
How could the Bible condone a lot of things that it condones? It tells you to kill everybody.
That's fucked up.
I mean, if we were living in the Bible age, everybody would be dead. Did you know Jesus said that thinking about a girl sexually is the same as adultery?
I guess anything fucking fun is a sin.
Yes, absolutely.
Anything watching a movie is a sin. Fucking.
I'll say this right now, okay? I'm an atheist because I love sinning. I love my sin! Because, let's look at the little facts here. Okay, did you know that there are actually more Christians per capita in prison than atheists?
Really?
Like the number of incarcerated Christians is like around 78%, and the number of
because they're trying to get forgiveness of what the fucked up shit they've done.
But atheists, it's like 0.1, or it's like it's like 0.2. I mean, it's not even 1.
Wow. So like, everybody that's in prison is gonna die there. So I think they need some hope, you know.
Well, not everyone in prison is going to die there. There are people that are in prison for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea is that you can make that argument that the people in prison, that it's basically the reason why the number is still off is because everyone just finds God in it. I can tell you right now that if I went to prison, I wouldn't find God because there is no God to be found.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, just first of all, I do want to say this, and this is coming from an atheist, so hopefully this means more. Christians, please read your Bible. Do it for me. Read it. Read it every day. Read it twice a day. But then when you come up in a part like that, and you don't understand it, ask. Keep asking till you get a good answer. Don't go to your preacher and then accept that answer. No, keep asking. Because guess what? Reading the Bible is the fastest way to become an atheist.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, somebody that's actually been on What Pisses Me Off podcast, Lev, after I told him that he refuses to read the Bible. Remember him saying that?
Yeah.
Because he is too stuck up with that he doesn't want what he believes to be broken. He wants the foundation still there.
Like I said, everybody that believes in God wants hope. Instead of, believing in, what obviously is the truth, they don't want to know the truth. People hate the truth. They don't want to know the truth. Anytime somebody hears the truth, they take offense.
I agree with him.
It's just how it is.
So yeah, I mean the idea is that first of all deism is one path on the path of atheism, and I do strongly believe one day you'll be able to just discard that thing, just discard a God. But I'm happy you're on the path, and I'm happy you're questioning things.
Yeah. Well, I've been questioning it ever since I've known about it, so.
Yeah, and keep doing that. I mean, and for all those God believers that say that I just didn't do it right, or actually a lot of people are going to say that I never was a Christian, because I'll give you that. I never was a Christian. Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Bible camp, you got a fucking half-naked guy with fucking... with 3 kids, girls. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I think it's the half-naked guy is because of the whole thing. I think it's just making fun of it. I mean, it's the Catholics, and they like young boys. Yes.
Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, priests having sex with boys. Like, how is that?
Because they're not allowed to have sex.
So they have sex with a boy? How is that any different?
Don't ask me.
You're still fucking, you're getting off, so how is that any different?
I mean, first of all, sex is forbidden except for procreation.
Like having sex for having a child?
Yeah, it's the only reason you're ever supposed to have sex. You're not supposed to be on birth control. That is a sin.
Well, then, a lot of people I know will be going to hell pretty soon.
Yeah, a lot of Christians are going to go to hell because you want to hear something really funny?
Hmm.
They've actually done surveys, and I can show people a video where the in the Bible Belt is where most people are watching porn. Hey, it gets better, okay?
Uh-huh.
Gay porn! So you Bible-thumping Christian, you're watching your gay porn! Now, when they refer to gay porn, they're actually talking about man on man, not a girl on girl. Because for some reason, girl on girl, there's no problem with that. Except if they want to get married. Please leave a comment below. If you'd like to be a guest on a future episode, please please leave a comment, or please send me a private message. Don't leave a comment below here. Tell me what kind of topics you'd like to talk about, and I'm open to any kind of people here. I'm willing to debate. I'm willing to host debates. I want this to be a discussion. And I want these videos to be discussions. If you're going to come here to try to preach or proselytize, don't. If you want to try to convince me that there is a God, you're going to have to come with evidence. And damn good evidence. And no, the Bible is not evidence, and do not try to claim the Bible is evidence. You're just going to look like an ass. Yes. So this was the Epic Atheist, Mark.
This was John. What pisses me off, 710?
I'm Epic, and so are you.